Well, butter my crumpets. My name is Donato and welcome to my channel. And if you're already a subscriber, welcome back. Yes, this is a bit of a new format on layouts and stuff. If you've not seen me before, yes, I'm a 63-year-old masters runner and I'm coming up to June this year will be 10 years of running. So I've got a lot of things to share. And in this video, I'm going to talk about quitting, why I quit. I'm quitting. I've had enough. Things just are getting on top of me. Yeah, have we heard that many times? But there's a positive side to this because it's all about knowing when to quit and when to push on. And it's a bit about what I've learned from this book, and I'll talk a bit more about it, which is called The Dip by Seth Godin. And I'll talk about why the benefits of when to quit, knowing when to quit, but also when to push on. A bit like what it says in my t-shirt here, no shortcuts. I've had a series where we talk about back to basics, and this is a bit of back to basics because I get to a stage in life where a lot of things that I do I tend to look at and think, well, yeah, that was a bit obvious, but I want to share with you, and I'd love to hear from you in terms of your experiences as well. Is it good, bad, or indifferent? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. In fact, sitting at this desk here, I feel a bit like a newscaster. I need to shuffle my notes, move things about. Do you like the flowers, by the way? These have been strategically placed here, and also a microphone. I've made a bit of a, what do you call it, improvised mic stand here. So rather than hold that, I like my hands to be free because I like to shuffle it back. You know, like a lot of Italians, we talk with our hands, don't we? Yeah. So I quit. Now in this book here, as I mentioned, The Dip, Seth Godin, and I'll read on the back what it talks about, how this is, I believe, whilst it's a marketing book, he's a marketing guru, I think, Seth Godin, how this is related to running, because many a times over the past coming up to 10 years I have quit. But what I'll talk about, what have I quit and when have I quit, because I'm still here. I'm not giving up running. Yeah, it's just knowing when to stop doing certain things. So it talks about here, and I'll read it verbatim. Every new project or career or relationship starts out exciting and fun. Then it gets harder and less fun until it hits a low point, really hard, really not fun. At this point, you might be in a dip, which will get better if you keep pushing, or a cul-de-sac where will never get better no matter how hard you try. The hard part is knowing the difference and acting on it. Doesn't that make perfect sense? Have you ever been doing some running, training, and all of a sudden you hit sort of a plateau? You think, well, this isn't working. And there's all sorts of dips that we experience. For me, over the years, I've developed and changed my training, my planning to adapt to me as I get older, because there's certain things that don't work when I was younger. Admittedly, in my mid-50s, I wasn't young anyway then. But for some of you watching this, you might be in your 20s or 30s or coming into your late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. And we need to know what to do, when to do it. And that's where there's a whole host of things where as we progress through with our running, because I believe we can always do our best, and it's the best at our time. And I'll be producing another video of how we stay motivated as we get older. When the PBs stop, or personal bests, personal records, whatever you call them, how do we stay motivated? Because all of us run for different reasons. I did do a quick survey here on the old YouTubes asking you guys, is running all about goal setting and personal bests, personal records? And I think the resounding answer was no. No, it isn't, because we run for all sorts of reasons. For me, I run to help people. I'm obviously running for my benefits as well, but that's how I started in terms of helping people with charity and so on and so forth. So there's things that I look at of when to quit. There's three key areas that I look at when I'm in a particular training cycle, training plan, where I'm just day to day, week to week training. And there are some indicators that give me a sign of where I need to, am I stuck at a cul-de-sac or am I in a dip? Because as we progress with training, we go ups and downs, and there's always dips. Yeah, that's the circle of life or the cycle of training. That's, how do I say it? That's just how it is. We need to accept that. We're not always going to be on a straight line upwards. But there's three things I said that we need to look at that help us identify if we've hit a particular cul-de-sac and we need to quit. We need to change direction and move out of that cul-de-sac and start a new direction. The first sign, and again, depending on what training we do, is being fatigued. If you're constantly, every day, feeling fatigued, and you go to work or you're with your family, friends, and you're always feeling tired and fatigued, and you think, oh, what is this? Now, there are some, well-meaning people out there who put things out and they say, well, we train to fatigue for marathon. Yeah, to a point, but I'm talking absolute exhaustion. That is a sure sign you're in a cul-de-sac and you need to get out of that. You need to change your plan and cut back on what's there. Sometimes we need cutback weeks. That's why in marathon training, we have cutback weeks to get back the energy and then go again. Fatigue up to a point and then cut back again. That's the cycle, but I'm talking about absolutely worn out, and it's day in, day out, or you start getting sick, ill, not sleeping well. Those are indicators that we're in a cul-de-sac. We need to quit, get out, and press on in a different direction. That's my first sign of when to quit. Second sign that we have in terms of we're in a cul-de-sac and we need to get out is injuries. If you're getting regular injuries following particular training plans, training cycles, that's a sure sign that you're in a cul-de-sac. You need to come out, quit, get out, and restart again. Maybe cut back in terms of the mileage, distances, types of training that we do. We need to quit. The third, maybe not the most important, but sometimes, again, depending on age and how we've been progressing, is you're not getting any signs of progress. Yeah, you're putting in the training and the times that you're racing still seem to be about the same. Now, for me, if they're the same, I see that as a positive, because in my 60s, there's a massive decline in terms of muscle loss and all that type. So for me to stay at the same times, if I'm running 10K at the same time now as I was 3 years ago, to me, for my age, that's progress. However, if you're in your sort of 20s or 30s and you've only just started running and you're not improving, then there's something not quite right there. Not always, but mostly, yeah, because there are always exceptions and we need to accept that. And sometimes some people, no matter how much training, what training we do, we've sort of reached that plateau, and everyone has different levels. And I think sometimes when we compare ourselves to others, that's where we tend to lose motivation, mojo. And as they say, sometimes comparison is the thief of joy. Yes, I know it's a lot to take in, and it's important knowing when to quit. I'm not afraid of quitting and calling it a day. That's why I said a number of months ago, for me, marathons, up to a point, I'm still enjoying it. I'm still loving it. But for me, I love going out there and doing my best. And if I feel I can't do my best, or I'm actually suffering, getting tired, injuries or holding back, niggles back, which was happening on a number of training cycles, I think my body's telling me that's enough now. We need to sort of temper it back. I'm still running. I'm still here. I'm looking at it in terms of long term. I don't feel I need to break my body. So I'm constantly assessing, reassessing, and see what to do, where to go. Hopefully this has made all a lot of sense to you. And as I mentioned on some previous videos, I normally say at the beginning a word from our sponsor, but I can add this at the end because you are here. So you're still keen, enthusiastic, loving the information. I am taking on some one-to-one coaching, mentoring, where I can help people get through these cul-de-sacs, dips, and achieve the best that they can. So contact me via the Calendly link in the description, and we can arrange a non-committal time to have a chat to see how I can help you, or not help you, depending on where we are in life. So we can have a bit of a chat. I do love chatting with people, and we can take it from there. And also there's a link in the description, little Amazon affiliate link, where you can purchase this book and learn about more detail of how Seth Godin talks about quitting and the best quitters, because he even talks about a quote in there from Vince Lombardi. As I say, these motivational people, used to be all the rage in the 80s, 90s, some even now. Quitters never win and winners never quit. Well, that's unfortunately a load of BS, yeah, because we need to know when to quit and when to push on, because real winners do quit a lot because they're finding the right direction and press through on that. Because as the t-shirt says, there are no shortcuts. Thank you so much for watching. Look forward to seeing you at the next video. And if you haven't already done so, thumbs up, subscribe, hit that alarm bell, and have a look at the podcast where I had with Matt Fox, sub 220 marathoner, where he'd spent many years trying to get under 220, and then all of a sudden ran 3 consecutive marathons in 3 months, all under 220. And you can have a look what he decided to do. Some things that he quit and others where he pressed on, and he worked out how to win for his game of life marathon. Yep. Thank you all. Bye, 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 bye. See you all soon. Did you like the news desk? I might do it again. Yes. I better go and switch the camera off now because it's quite a long way to reach it.